Welcome to Carbot Live.
There we go. Thank you. Oh man, we're like full here. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. How was your BlizzCon? Today, we're animating. I do that sometimes. First of all, my name is Jonathan Burton, and if you don't know who I am, I'm the creator of Carbot Animations. And if you don't know what that is, it's a YouTube channel that parodies basically all the Blizzard games that there is and almost ever was. But yeah, we started 7 years ago, and I had no idea that I would be here today if you rewind 7 years ago. So I wanted to kind of recap of what has happened in the past 7 years, because a lot has happened and a lot of things that we can be pretty proud of. And the first thing I want to talk about is actually StarCraft was our very first series. We've done 7 seasons. It only shows 6 up there. Thank you. We're on our 7th season in the 7th year. If you've been following the series, there's only going to be 7 episodes in season 7. And we're on the last one, and it's going to be the series finale. I say that in quotes because it's not actually going to end. We're still going to do StarCraft's cartoons. I want to make sure that's clear. But the story that has kind of happened, we have like Crackhead and Patches and the Dirtfester and all that stuff. That all good stories come to an end. And we're going to end that story. So that's kind of, when we say it's a series finale, that's what I mean. So there's still going to be StarCraft's cartoons, but yeah. Okay. During the past 7 years, we've done the StarCraft mod. That's actually free to play in the StarCraft Arcade, which is also free to play and download. Thanks. That was such a huge project. It was very interesting because it is a 3D game, and try to get those assets in there. They're all 2D. If you actually move the camera around, you can see the 2D plane is actually a very flat card, basically. But after that, what was inspired by that, I think, was StarCraft Cartoons, which is almost the same thing, but for StarCraft Remastered, but it's an official mod. Yeah. Actually, I don't even want to say mod. I would rather say graphics pack, because one thing that was awesome about this, one thing, Blizzard came to us and was like, hey, how about we do this? And we're like, yeah, of course. And if you were at the Pylon show, I talked about this. I was so excited to start working on this. I started working on it before I even signed a contract, which is not a smart idea. So don't do that. But luckily, everything was fine. We did it, and it turned out surprisingly well. And I thought, this will be easy because we already made a mod and we can carry over a lot of the assets. Unfortunately, the way this game is made, you have to be very specific with everything. So we couldn't really do that. We ended up remaking about 95% of everything that I made previously, and I think it was well worth the effort. So, and just to kind of reiterate, a lot of people who have get confused, and I understand why, because there's been a StarCraft mod and then StarCraft Cartoon. It's for remastered. It's a graphics setting, I like to call it, that you can purchase, and it works on any game mode. So, campaign, it's custom games, multiplayer, ladder, every single thing you can think of. Even the briefing rooms, they're all cartoon. The menus, everything is in our cartoony style. So, if you want to check that out, you can. It's available for purchase and download. So. The other things that we've done, we've made a bunch of series. Basically, as I said, every single Blizzard IP that has almost every, we haven't done Lost Vikings or Blackthorn or whatever. So we've done all the current stuff. In the past 7 years, over 1 million subscribers we reached this year. Thank you. We're almost at 500 million views in total. So that's 500 million. And StarCraft Season 1, our very first cartoon, averages about 3 million views per episode, and there's 25 episodes, which is, again, very awesome. So we also, in the past 7 years, had a baby, me and my wife. She's now 3, and her APM is higher than any pro StarCraft player. No kidding. And honestly, I could, they say when behind Dark Shrine. Well, when behind, send my daughter into the enemy base and she'll wreck their economy. If I could. The other awesome thing, I wasn't too vocal about this. I don't know why at the time, but a couple of years ago, we actually went to Korea and Blizzard's invitation and support. We ended up, if you see the top right or left corner, that's a children's hospital, and that's the playroom. And Blizzard donated a bunch of money to get that room done and asked us if we could do the art. And of course, we said yes. I mean, we're not going to say no to that. So that was such an awesome experience. And then this year we returned to Korea, and the rest of the pictures is the kids with coloring books, coloring in that same room, and we joined with them, and that was a lot of fun too. So, yeah, as you know, Korea's really big, or StarCraft's really big in Korea. So, the other thing, actually, and this is something small that how many of you might have been here the very first time I was up on stage? It was 3 BlizzCons ago. I think it was 2017. I was animating, just like we're going to do in a moment. And we had a Q&A section, and a guy named Chad comes up, and he says, hi, it's me, Chad. And I was like, I look up, and I was totally caught off guard. This was a guy that came to me a couple years back and said, my child has leukemia. You have lots of subscribers, and I have a GoFundMe, and we really need help because my child is really suffering a lot. And so I checked him out. At first I was like, okay, well, who's this guy? I want to make sure, it's legit. But we ended up helping his GoFundMe. We helped them raise $27,000. That's because of all you guys. We made a video saying, hey, we want to help this kid. And I'm really happy to say, because he came here, as I said, to that Q&A, and he told everyone there that day what had happened, which I was like, it caught me off guard. I might have cried or something. I bring that up now only because recently he once again reached out to me and told me that his son is recovered from that. So I think it's awesome. So we're making a difference. And more than just entertainment. So today we're going to animate. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for coming and wanting to see the process, because animation is, well, first of all, I love it. And second of all, a lot of people don't know what it takes, I guess. I don't know. It's a process, and it's a very patient art form, and but it's also really cool because you get to create life out of nothing, and you get to you get to express yourself in different ways or different characters, and so that's why I love animation. You get to tell a story with it. So I'm just gonna pull this closer, actually. Get this over here. And if you want to know what I'm using, it's a Wacom Cintiq, and the program is Adobe Animate CC. And that's what we usually use to create our cartoons. I'm just going to get set up here. Let's see, how's that? Okay, and what we do, so there's a lot of different ways to animate. There's 3D, there's kind of like the puppet animation. What we do is we do the classic animation, and it'll be, it's called frame-by-frame animation, which means we're going to be more or less drawing a new image every frame to make the thing look like it's alive and moving and all that stuff. So we're going to create a Zergling and an Orc We're going to make a fight. That's what we're going to do. Oop. All right, so, and I'm going to be I'm going to be undoing actions a lot. Just something that every animator does. It might drive some of you nuts, but that's what happens. And there's, okay, so the orc, I mean, I love the orc. The orc is like, I love his primitive nature, I guess, his anger, the way he just yells at things. What we like to do when we animate, or when we, I guess, when we do the episodes, is we like to, I guess, project the way we see things, or and really try to put the personality into it. So here's the orc. There he is. Neat. Yeah. And this is how you animate, just like this, see? No. You could do that if you wanted to. All right, give him an axe. You know, orcs like axes. All right, and then we'll do the Zergling. First, we're going to establish our characters and draw them. Make sure we know what the heck we're drawing. A Zergling is probably, I'd say, the most beloved character we ever made. Everyone loves the Zergling. You guys are full of energy. There you go. He's always got 1, 2, 3, 4 teeth. There he is. They're cute and adorable. They do lots of damage, though. Okay, yeah, so we established, actually, I already goofed. I need to make a separate layer for the Zergling. Nope. There we go. And then we'll paste them back here. All right, so the first thing you do is you do keyframes. Keyframes are basically, you got to map out what you're doing. So it's kind of like each prominent or extreme pose you want to do a keyframe. So the orc is going to try to attack the Zergling. So we're going to have basically 2 specific keyframes for now. One with his axe raised, and then the next with his axe on the ground. Okay? And then once you're done the keyframes, you do the in-betweens, which is the in-between frames. So that's what that is. We're going to turn on the onion skin, which allows us to see through time. It allows us to see forward frames and behind as well. Let's give myself a couple more here. All right, so let's do the orc swinging. And sometimes, actually, what's difficult is they have such stubby bodies that causing their limbs to move the way I want to can be a bit of a challenge. But luckily, that's why we frame-by-frame animation is great. One of the things that I love about it, and it's not used as much anymore because it does take a lot of time, is that you can do a lot of cheating, if you will, that allows you to stretch and squash the character as much as you like. So this will be one of the 2 keyframes. There you go. We'll put the axe here. There we go. Oh, he needs pants. There you go. So there's the one. All right, the next one. And don't worry, the Zergling's not. I'm just going to erase the Zergling for now here. Yeah. I know. He'll be back with revenge. Okay, I'll keep the Zergling there. There. But now he's going to get hit by the axe. It's a good thing. All right. So again, you kind of map out. The purpose of the keyframes is also because if you just animate, You might end up with the head changing different sizes, or the arms. Everything might start to change in different lengths or sizes. So if you do the keyframes, you're much less likely to do that, because you're, again, mapping out exactly how things are going to go. There we go. Actually, and you know what? I need to erase that and bring it a little bit more. Let's see. His arms are too stubby here. Just erase this. And the keyframes, it's important to get right, because if you don't, then you're kind of working with something that's a little bit broken in the first place. Okay, so. All right. So we're just about done the second keyframe. So now we have a basic motion of him kind of doing that, right? He's kind of putting his butt out a lot. I'm just gonna... There you go. It's a little bit better. Looks like he had something wrong with his hip. Okay, I'm actually going to move the Zergling a little bit closer. You can go back and change things all you want. So now the Zergling's going to have to dodge it, obviously. But yeah, let's go ahead and start to do the in-betweens. So the orc can actually start to swing, because this is what we have right now. So it's not much of an animation, but it's there. It's starting to become one. There's this guy with so many Zerglings all over him. I love it. Show everyone, yeah. Oh my gosh, how did you buy? Zerg Rush. Okay. Yeah, it's exactly. Okay. So, you know what, I'm going to actually turn this guy into a symbol, which, copy frames, which actually, so I'm going to delete him for a second. It's okay, he's not gone forever. So working with a program like this, you got things called symbols, and basically it has its own timeline. So I'm going to go into the symbol, and the timeline's kind of disappeared, and I'm going to paste the frames, and then the frames come back. So now, if I want to repeat the animation, I have a symbol that will repeat itself, so I can kind of move it around a lot easier once I get out of it. So let's go ahead and animate the in-betweens now. But before I do, there we go. Okay. All right, so the first frame in between, by the way, I animate on 24 frames a second, but on twos, which means technically 12 frames a second. But if I need to do 24 frames, it's still available to do that. So every other frame means that I'll be doing a new image on twos is what that means. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the orc to start to lean into the attack. So his upper body, if you can imagine, your upper body first follows through with the attack, and then your arms follow after to kind of help slingshot your arms forward to make the attack a little bit more stronger. And his arms are going to go a little bit back as he leans forward. There you go. We got to do the mouth. And one really good way to tackle things, actually, maybe I should do it now, so teach you a little bit better, but is to not do all the details right away. You can do the basic stuff first. And I really would recommend to do simple characters. You get feedback quicker, not only of what you did wrong, but what you did right as well. And it's more enjoyable because you get to press play a little sooner. So yeah, then we're going to make the next frame follow through. So he's going to be almost in his next position. Oops. Here. And his arms are going to be dragging behind. Actually, we're going to do a kind of a motion blur like that. all right, which actually works quite well. It looks awful if you freeze the frame. It's actually really good. So we can do a bit of the same thing there too. All right? So we can see we have a bit of motion there. And actually, I'm going to exaggerate that emotion just a little bit more. Bring his arms a bit more back there. All right, do the pant line as well. So I'll do his face after. And then we have one more frame right here. And I'm going to make him pop forward just a bit from the next keyframe. Sorry. All right, and his axe is just going to go swoosh like this. And so are his arms, like that. Sorry, there is a button I forgot to customize on this pen, and that's what the menu keeps popping up. I keep accidentally touching it. Okay, so we can check it. You know, it's a little slow, and there's also no impact. He kind of just stops, okay? So I'm going to remove probably these 2 frames here. So now some of it is in 24 frames a second. It's a little faster. Okay. Let's do his face, actually. Let's get his face done, because we don't want to forget about that. And this is a good idea because then you can focus on one thing at a time instead of animating every frame with all the details every time. And you can break that up as much as you want. Normally, if you're going to do more complex characters and even simple characters, there's such a thing called rough animation, which you just roughly do everything. I'm not doing that because we never do that because there's no time. We got to get a cartoon out every week. So I never actually get to do much rough animation unless it's for something super intense. So we normally just do that. So in the last frame, I'm going to make him... this is another little cheat that actually works really well, especially with simple characters. Would not work well with more complicated characters. So when he hits the ground, I want a bit of an impact. And so if we squash him like this, maybe even lean him forward a bit, they'll start to, and I'll make another frame where I'll copy it, and I'll drag the anchor down to his foot, and then stretch him up a bit, just a bit, not too much. It'll start to feel like there's an impact. See that energy kind of happen through his body. And it's a nice little trick that you can do, which I use a lot, to be honest. So yeah, there's one. But I think I'm going to make him return, or at least almost return to a position here, to his neutral position. Start to pick up the axe. Drag it on the ground a bit. All right. And what we're going to do is the Zergling's going to obviously be quick and dodge it. And the Orc is going to continue to try to get him while he runs around him. So that is the Orc symbol. So now we can return back to our original timeline here. So I need to move this over. So if we let it play, and this is what I mean by symbols, if we let it play, the Orc will, oh, sorry, one second. Technical stuff. We let it play, he'll keep attacking. The loop will continue to go. So we want the Orc to miss the Zergling. He's gonna turn around right here. Oops. There we go. And the Zergling's going to run behind him, and he's going to try to get him again. And then we'll make the Zergling evade it all. So there's the last frame. We'll make him turn around again, and that'll be his final strike before the Zergling does him in. Okay, so the Zergling's got to move. And we're going to do some keyframes here for the Zergling now. So I suppose, oh, I didn't, look at that. See, look, I didn't even, he has no pants here. See? So another thing, this is why you always got to replay your animation. Make sure you got it all. I think we got it all. Yes? Yes. Okay, that's good enough. Okay. All right, so we're going to make the Zergling pop over to this side. Actually, we could even use, since we don't have all the time in the world, we could even use the same image and just flip it for him as well when he runs there. But now he needs to run there. So I will do an in-between keyframe so we know exactly how he's going to run there. Right? And we can even change that guy's color for now. And we'll get the Zergling running. Oh, wait, hold on. I want him to lean forward a bit. So his weight is shifted forward. So it feels like he's sprinting a little more. And now you can do as many keyframes as you want, as many as you feel comfortable with. So that's fine for me. Simple character. I've drawn him like, I don't know how many times, like, I feel like a million, but yeah. So we're gonna we're just do his outer body first and then we'll put his face on after. So again, I guess this could technically be a keyframe as well. He's gonna squash down and get ready to start running. Because when you do that, like, I mean, he kind of leaps, pounces, yeah, hops around. So he's gonna have that energy, and again, so he's gonna be, I'll even do the wings after, just to further illustrate my point. And Zerglings are fast, actually, so he's gonna be 24 frames a second, whereas the other guy is moving at 12. Zergling's at an advantage here. So there's the body. You can see already, I'm going to change it just a little bit. And actually, I'm going to change this one too. So he's hopping in the air a bit more. There we go. Now he's going to land. He's going to land on his front feet. And he's going to have to start to turn because he's going to face the other direction. So I'm going to add another in between. Get his hind legs down. And again, this is why we chose very simple characters, because which actually I think worked out because they all are pretty cute and derpy. But even just right here, it's like, what is that? But if you understand what you're doing, then you won't get lost in your own animations. And these are his two hind legs, and this is his front leg, and he's facing the direction he's going now. So, and we're going to make him turn around. First, he's got to leap over there. There we go. And I'll make them first land, then bounce and turn around. That's what I'll do. So there's a lot of planning. Normally I would plan more if I wasn't as familiar with what I was doing. I'm not an organized planning person, so I feel like animation has helped me learn some skills that I should have learned a long time ago. So it's good. It's good to be a planner. It's good to be organized. And now we can start to bring him back down to 12 frames a second because he's going to slow down because he himself is slowing down, the Zergling. All right. He's just going to hop, bounce, and turn around. And this is like some of the things that I feel like they take a little longer, but it's worth it to add that extra character into the cartoon. And that's, I think, that's where people can relate more to the character and what their personality is. So it is super well worth it to do that. Oh my gosh, what was that? Okay. And now he's going to land right before he has to move again. Okay, so I can kind of check this as my rough animation. I haven't done the face, haven't done the wings. And there we go. So all that just for that. And we're not done yet. And we can turn this guy on too. All right, so let's add in the wings, which is a lot quicker. Actually, had a bit of a motion curve there. There. Now we have the wings in, and now the face. And as I'm finishing up this animation before we get to see the final product, let's have a Q&A. If do you guys want a Q&A? You can ask me anything you want, whatever you like, and I'll try to answer as best I can. The microphones will be in these two aisles here. If we have the microphones out. Yep, we got it. Okay. And just let me know what you'd like to know about, and I'll try to answer as best as I can.
Hi, my name is James, and I'm just wondering what kind of anime do you watch usually, except for the Carbot animation, you know?
Okay, that's awesome. I'm allowed to say franchises, right? That's okay? I assume so? I don't know what the rules are. I'll say it anyway, whatever. I love Avatar: Last Airbender. Amazingly animated, yeah. I remember seeing that show when I was I think I was 19. I saw just a bit of it, and I didn't actually end up, and I thought it was, that looks like a really cool cartoon. And then I didn't end up watching it until much later, a couple years later. And I'm glad I did, but man, I missed a lot. I binge watched the entire thing, and that show, the storytelling, I absolutely love. The animation I love the world, the way it lays down its laws, I guess you'd say, and all that. So that would be my answer to that, James. So thanks for the question.
Hi, Carbot. Huge fan, Kel'Thuzad shirt.
Nice.
Watching you for years.
Love it.
I was wondering, when can we expect a Deathwing Hero Storm?
You know, I would have made one earlier, but I wanted to be able to play him first. Because I feel like it needs, you know what I mean? I feel like they turn out better if I play
Awesome.
first.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Hey, Carbot.
Hey.
Thank you so much. I watch your cartoons, and I've been watching them for a while, and I actually had 2 questions. So, you animated a lot of StarCraft, and I was wondering what you mainly played in StarCraft?
Race?
Yeah.
Protoss.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah. A move. No. Yeah, no, Protoss, I generally gravitate towards the more brute, beefy kind of characters in a game, and Protoss is the more tough, like, there's less of them in numbers, but they're strong. So I think that's why. And also lasers, so, yeah.
Yeah, and also with the Diablo 2 animations coming out, I was wondering what you played in Diablo 2.
Well, I think Barbarian, yeah. I think I kind of answered that, yeah. Love Barbarian, freaking leap attack, whirlwind, yeah. So.
Hi, Carbot. It's me, Charlotte, one of your best friends.
Oh, hey, Charlotte.
Probably out of the million, but I just wanted to ask you, are you for the Horde or for the Alliance?
Oh, why would you do that to me? Well, as I said, I like big, beefy, strong fighter dudes, so I'm a Tauren warrior. We're gonna have to say Horde. So yeah, that's my answer. Sounds like it was the right one. Boo. Hey.
Hi, Carbot. So, just want to let you know first, thank you so much for making your videos. They honestly make my Saturdays. Every time I wake up and I see your notifications, it's just amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I just had a question, though. So, you're from Toronto, Canada, if I have it understood.
Yes.
And there's another YouTube group there, Mini War Gaming, and I was wondering if you know them, friends with them, done things with them before.
They are my friends.
Oh, really?
I grew up with them.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So shout out to them, Mini War Gaming. Yeah, no. I grew up with them. They were my friends through my older brother. They were his friends, and I became. I wasn't a loser, okay, guys? Yeah, I became friends with them because my older brother was friends with them.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, long-time friends. I love those guys. Dave and Matt and Dan used to be there. No, he's not, but yeah.
Hi, Carbot.
Hey, Carbot. You might be able to guess what my question's going to be, but you got any plans to bring out new plushies?
You know, we need to start a petition to tell Blizzard. So,
You have no idea how much people were asking me, like, how to buy these. I'm like, yeah, you're a couple of years too late.
yeah, unfortunately, they aren't being made right now, so we'll see. I would love to, though. I definitely love to. We need a zealot with a pull string that yells. And, of course, patches and marine.
Hi, Carbot. It's me,
Hello.
Bastion. Hi. One of my questions for you is, why did you start animating?
That's an awesome question. I love creating, so I think that's the short answer. And I like telling stories. So, yeah, that would be the short answer. I remember I didn't have any animation tools until I was 23. Okay, so it's not too late. I started. I guess I tried to animate even though I didn't have animation tools. I would take like my textbook at school or the dictionary at home, and I'd draw a little stick figure in the corner, and then I'd flip the page and shoot another until it became an animation, like a flip book. So I always loved creating, and I loved doing that, and I think that helped me when I did actually start animating on like actual paper or programs or whatnot. So whatever your passion is, even if it's like, in my example, animation, I had no tools, no nothing. Just follow it, you know, even if it's just a little drawing in a corner of a textbook at school that people will be like, what the? Just follow it, no matter how small the reward is. You do it because you love to do it, not for, you know, the rewards, basically, you know? So that's kind of how it started.
Thanks. That's all I wanted.
All right.
Hi, Carbot.
Oh, nice costume.
Great fan. Thank you. With Warcraft 3 Reforged in plan, do you have any promises or plans in mind for Warcraft 3 animation? And if so, Do you have a campaign in mind, or what would you do the most?
So Warcraft 3 animations. That's what you're wondering?
Exactly.
Okay, I want to make sure. By the way, I saw you in the hall.
Really?
I walked past you, yeah.
Why didn't you say
legit.
goodbye?
Yeah, I should have. Let's get a picture after.
Okay, okay.
Yes. In short, yes. Warcraft 3 was, again, one of my childhood games. And I was, actually, ironically, I wasn't Orc. They were my second race. I was Night Elf for some reason. But yeah, I probably, when I play this time, I'm probably going to play the Orc race. Because, for the horde. Yeah. Yes, so definitely want to make Warcraft 3 cartoons because there's a lot going on there and a lot of content to kind of poke fun at. So yeah, definitely. Good.
Hello, Carbot. First off, I just wanted to say amazing job with the StarCraft cartoon mod. I love playing it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And my question is from personal experience, and I wonder if any other creator like yourself also had this experience. Do you ever have moments where you feel like your creativity engine has died, where you feel uncreative at one moment, and if you do, what gets you inspired to create new stuff again?
That is a great question because that's kind of a behind the scenes personal thing, and I think everyone goes through that. So I'm no exception, of course. Yeah, there's definitely been droughts. I remember when I first started, I could sit down and literally have no storyboard and just start animating. I just had so much in my head, you know. After a while, what seemed to help is watching, for StarCraft specifically, watching tournaments and stuff and watching pro players play. Because there'd be something that would happen, I'd be like, yeah, that's funny and that's awful if it happens to you. But it's funny if it happens to somebody else. So, but now it'll be a combination of that. But also, I have my brothers. My brother actually has just recently come on full time. He's an animator too, which is awesome. He couldn't be here today, unfortunately. But we have played Blizzard games for so long, since we were, I don't know, 9 or 8 or whatever it was. Even way back then, we would kind of laugh and make fun of the stuff that would happen, or poke fun of our frustrations, and kind of, we look like idiots when we do it, but we kind of act stuff out because we're just, I don't know, our parents always kind of make fun of us because we look the way we look when we talk to each other and laugh and act things out and poke fun at the games that we play. So that now, I'm so glad he's on full time because I get to do that all the time now. So I don't know, that is such a refresher to be able to bounce ideas off of somebody that has a similar view as you, but different enough that you can still get different ideas. And yeah, I think that's probably right now my greatest source of, I guess, steadiness when it comes to the creative pool of things. That was a really long-winded answer, sorry.
All right, thank you so much, and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Hi.
Thank you for giving me some of my favorite memories of watching Carbot with my dad.
You're welcome.
But how do you create the character designs?
Oh, that's an awesome question. It's tricky. They've changed over the years a bit, some of them anyway. I guess I would say I would look at shapes first. What shape? Because there's something called silhouette value. So in other words, if you take the character and just turn them completely pitch black, you only see just a black image. That's called the silhouette value, the way the shape looks. And you can do it with any character. And so I try to more or less try to simplify that shape if I can. An orc, well, he's like an egg or something. You know what I mean? Or a normal orc would be like, you'd have his head here, and you have, you'd have this upper body that looks like this. And so taking that shape and basically curving it down to its to what it looks like here. And then trying to leave out as many features as possible that don't matter, which is very tough. And that's why I think sometimes it changes a bit. I realize, no, this actually looks better, and still trying to make it look appealing. So I just take 1 to 2 key things and simplify the shape. And that's usually how I get it. So
I think they're adorable.
well, thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Carbot.
Hey.
First of all, for the Horde.
For the Horde.
I wanted to ask, what was like the big event that made you decide you wanted to do this like full time?
You know, there's some people that think it's still like a hobby, which it can't be. It takes like 40 hours or whatever, you know what I mean? It takes a long time to create an episode. The big thing, there's a couple things. One of the big things was Patreon. If you don't know what that is, it's an excellent service that you can kind of tip creators with. And animation definitely needs it on YouTube because YouTube pays for longer content, and animation, well, you know, once a week you get a minute or two. It's a great service for animators specifically. So I don't care if it's me, any animator that you want to support, if they have it, definitely, and of course, if you can't, definitely use that service to support them. That was the main thing that made me say, okay, I can do this full time. The other thing was Blizzard was another main element. They actually took a liking to us right away, which, I mean, I remember getting the message from them after the first or second cartoon we did. It was that early on. And it said, Blizzard Entertainment, well, you know, we would like to feature your stuff. And I'm like, this is a scam. This is not Blizzard. I totally didn't believe it. I was like, this is not real. They're trying to get something, but I don't have anything. So it was those two things combined that really helped out. Blizzard later, it wasn't until later they started to actually contract some episodes. And so that gave us the financial support we needed, basically. So, yeah. So thank you, Blizzard. And thank you guys for making it popular.
Thank you. I really like your stuff.
Good evening, Mr. Carbot.
Good evening.
Okay, so I've got 2 simple questions.
Yeah.
This is more towards the Hearthstone and Hearthstone, which is, do you have any plans on making another episode, at least getting the druid in, seeing how he would work in your cartoon style?
Sorry, Hearthstone, you said? Yeah, Hearthstone, yeah.
Yes, Hearthstone.
And so any plans of making more?
Correct.
Wait 1 to 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay, cool. Second quick question is in Hearthstone, if you do have time, what class do you play and what deck do you like to play?
Warrior.
For the hall!
Yeah, it's kind of, with me and my brothers and my friends, they're always, every time, this is Jonathan's character, obviously. He's going to be the big brute guy that likes to throw axes in people's skulls or whatever it is, you know, whatever's the brute choice. Yeah, so it's almost always going to be that. That's what I be. That's what I pick. But yeah.
Hey, Carbot. So I was wondering, with the StarCraft cartoon going so well, with Warcraft Reforged, do you plan on doing something like that for Warcraft 3?
So it's entirely up to Blizzard, for one. But unfortunately, I don't think that would happen just because of a couple things. It's a 3D engine. It's, as far as I understand it, and it only makes sense to me, it's not as powerful as the StarCraft 2 engine. So supporting the way we handled that, I don't even know if you could do that. And if we did, there's so many assets. There's like, how many neutral hostile creeps and all? There's like, I don't know, there's so many, right? And that would, do it. Just do it. Do it. That would take forever. So I feel like I don't want to get your hopes up. I feel like that will probably never happen, though it would be really awesome. So,
thank you very much.
Thanks.
Hi, Carbot. So I was wondering, have you ever gotten into 3D animation?
So, as I said, I was actually going to school for animation. It was a 4-year course. And because of you guys, I dropped out. But no, I dropped out, and I was like, it was a tough decision. But I thought school will always be there. And we only just started to get into 3D animation in the second year, so I have no idea what's going on there.
And,
yeah.
And I had a second question. I'm in school for 3D animation, and I was curious what the differences between 3D and 2D animation are.
Well, you probably know more about 3D animation than me, but I do know about the basics of it, and that is that 3D animation, well, for 2D, frame by frame, you have to redraw the character, so you need to know how to draw the character well, and you need to understand 3D space really well. Like you're creating it out of nothing, you know? Whereas 3D animation, you create the model first. Usually you have a modeler to do that first. And then you can just move it around. So you don't have to worry about knowing how to, you don't draw the character. So you don't need to redraw the character every time. So I'd say 3D animation is a lot more technical savvy. And then 2D animation, I mean, they're both very challenging. 2D animation, you have to understand, like if a character's head moves, rotates, you need to understand the 3D space that would make it look as if it is actually moving, which is very tricky and a skill on its own, Whereas 3D, you can just turn it. Of course, you got to make it look good still, but the model is there. A lot more, you need a more powerful computer, that's for sure. And, but I don't know too much about it. All I know is that the stuff I did learn, it was very tough to learn. So I feel like I can't do it justice with whatever skills that come involved in that. But that's all I do know for that.
Okay, thank you.
So.
Hello.
Hello.
So, kind of along what you were saying about how you need to really know your characters well to be able to animate them in different angles and things like that. Like I love your Zerg characters.
Oh, thank you.
And I drew one of your Zerglings the other day, and I was trying to draw the roach, and I couldn't get a grasp on like the proportions and how to make the character look appealing, like you said, and the angle I was trying to draw it. And I was looking at all your animations that had the roach in it, and I couldn't get it down. So do you have any like tips on how you would study something like somebody else, like you, how I would study like your character to be able to draw it?
To be honest, I have trouble with the roach too. He has no limbs. Like they're just like, you know what I mean? And then the face is very different. So for the roach specifically, I have a bit of trouble too. So every time I do a roach, it takes me a little bit more time. And often I just go, do you know what? It's moving. People won't notice. So usually one angle is a lot easier. If you do like a 3/4 angle, it's a lot easier. For studying any character, that's a tough question. You're really making me think. I would say my advice would be repetition is definitely a good thing. With anything, that's how you can learn best. Don't be hard on yourself and have fun with it, actually. And maybe even exaggerate some things so you... I found, at least for me, when I exaggerated features and stuff like that, I got to know that feature better because I was exaggerating the curves and stuff like that. So, because when it comes to drawing, what makes someone a good illustrator is just paying attention to which way the line is going. It's really what it is. I know it sounds like really tiny, but just understanding when the line bends and what direction it goes, those little things, yeah.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Hey Carbot, love your work. My all-time favorite's probably the Nerf episode where you actually had Dustin Browder and David Kim guest star.
Oh yeah.
Any plans or any possibilities in the future of having more Blizzard devs like guest star and do more episodes like that?
I would love to. Actually, that was on their request. They gave me I gave them some lines. I'm like, if you could say this, that'd be great. And if you want to add more, that's cool too. And so they gave me their lines. But that was their idea. But I'm sure if I came up with an idea and said, hey, I don't know, whoever at Blizzard, like, would you like to be in the show? And they're so awesome. I'm sure they would love to, you know. So nothing in the pipe, but definitely not close to it, because that was a lot of fun. So.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Carbot.
Hey.
First of all, I love your work, and it always makes me laugh. My husband showed it to me just last year.
Oh.
You draw for almost all of Blizzard's games, and it's fantastic. But personally, I want to know, who's your favorite character to animate? Like, who gives you the most, like, it's just making you enjoy it whenever you get to do it?
It's like, I have multiple answers for that. Sorry. The warrior, it's kind of, okay, so there's a couple answers for different reasons. Zergling, pretty easy and fun. You know, they get to hop around a lot, and that's always really fun to animate. The Marine is the easiest to animate. One, he just shoots, so. But when he does scramble, usually he drops his gun. So he's just a jelly bean, basically. But the more challenging but more rewarding is the Zealot. He's usually doing all these, you know, cool moves and stuff like that, and that's really fun. It just takes a lot more time. It's a lot more lines. And so I love, I know it sounds like I'm just crowd pleasing. I love one from each race. But I really do. They're really the most fun and easiest character, or / easiest characters to animate. So I like them for different reasons. Such a balanced answer.
Well, thank you for doing all of this for us. And hey, when and if you draw Deathwing, might I suggest a Deathwing plush for your merchandise?
I would love to.
Hello.
Hello.
What made you decide to make these so cute? And what drove you to that art style?
So the one was like, it was for a practical reason.
Okay.
The frame-by-frame animation. Imagine drawing an actual Zergling right now. It would take forever. And then the other is, years ago, I saw this channel called Bird Box Studio. It's not related to the Netflix movie, but it was called Bird Box Studio, and it's just these simple cartoons that had like little to no talking, mostly just grunts, like, and they were just simple shapes, and yet it communicated so much. And if you knew me before I ever started this, my art style was a lot more gritty and real, and that's what I like to do, although I don't think I was that great at it. But and so I saw these cartoons. I was like, this is so cool that it does that. And so that's kind of where the inspiration came from, the direction anyway. And so I did a lot of practice runs with it, and then eventually kind of settled on the style, which has evolved over time. But yeah.
It's really good. I like it.
Well, thank you.
I made my outfit to match today.
Oh, nice. I didn't even see that.
All
That's
the
awesome.
Zerglings on the bottom.
Yeah, it's a whole
entire
Zerg
crew.
outfit. It's just Zerg, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Zergling with the wings.
That is awesome. Thank you. Okay, we have 1 minute left, which means I can answer one more question and do this really, really quick. All right, go ahead.
It's a lot of pressure on me, I guess. But
yeah, it's got to be good, man.
Oh boy.
I bought that same shirt for.
I know. I was just about to say I'm glad I bought this shirt, knowing I was going to meet you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that we love your videos. We account for probably a third of them. Me and my friends do. We watch them so much. But my question was just, when is the Carbot movie going to come out?
Gosh, guys. Yeah, I'm not showing you how long it takes. So I guess, in a way, in December, the last episode for StarCrafts is going to be, I made a video and I said it's going to be 25 minutes long. It's probably going to be closer to 35 minutes. So there you go. So be sure to watch it. Because
I will for sure watch that at least 10 times.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, because it's going to be, we've been working on it since July or whatever, so, or I don't even know. But yeah, so I guess that's that. I'm going to finish up because we're out of time. But here's the work really quickly. See, we do this every week, you know. Gosh, it's Friday. Get the cartoon done. We got to add sound to it. And so I'm just going to really quickly do the thing that I do all the time. And this is where we cheat because we have to, because there's no time. And then we do one more little, again, this adds to the animation. It's very, very time efficient. A lot less lines you have to do, and it works great for cartoons like these. And here we go. Here's the final animation, guys. I want to say thank you again for everyone coming out and supporting our family YouTube channel. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a great BlizzCon!